Glad you could help join us. Nope.
Okay, now you're good.
All right, well, good evening. Glad you could join us. Mayor Travis is not here this evening. He's got other business. So, staff, do we have any agenda changes?
From the presented agenda, Council President, we will remove G3, the financial, or second quarter financial. We're waiting on a resolution with our software provider to get the reports for that, so.
All right. Okay, with that, I'd like to open this for public forum. And seeing that there's no one in the gallery, we will close public forum and move on to the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I would move that we remove check number 119114. This check was made out to me. I'd move that we remove that from the consent agenda and consider it separately.
Will do. And we will move that into new business under item number 2 and refer to it as 2B.
You just need a second to that effect and a vote.
Second?
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those against? Okay, thank you. Okay, now, consent agenda. I have to we have a motion to approve the consent.
Mr. President, I move to approve the consent agenda for July 11, 2022 as presented,
Second, as amended.
as amended.
As amended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Unfinished business. Ethan, would you like to go over item number 1, cemetery regulations?
Yeah, it was included in your packet with all the changes as requested. Brad drafted that updated ordinance, so we believe it now reflects all the changes that were requested and should be ready for passage unless there's any other changes or comments sought by the governing body.
And council, do we have any discussion or changes to make to this?
I do not. I think it looks good.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 1319, an ordinance updating Halstead City Code, Chapter 12, Article 4 regarding cemetery regulations.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. Okay. We have under unfinished business, number 2, ordinance number 1320, alcohol distance requirement.
Thank you, Council President. You should have received via email from Brad's law office, and then as well as we have a hard copy there in front of you. This is ordinance 1320, which would amend and replace language in Halstead City Codes, specifically Section 3-102, regarding the restriction on location for sale of alcoholic liquor, CMB. Basically, it keeps that distance restriction except for in the B3 Central Business District, which would cover basically Main Street, what we would think of as our downtown business district. So that should exempt any future or going forward, anyone from having to go through this if they're operating a business with the applicable state licensure in that zoning district. So if, for instance, we would ever have an incident where it's somewhere else in the community, let's say at the corner of Halstead and 6th, then they would have to go through the public hearing process, et cetera. This is only specific to the B3 Central Business District.
Just to add to that, I went ahead and just changed, because it's easier to track, especially when we recodify in the future, redid 3102 in its entirety. The only change is in B. A reads just as it always did before, as does C. B only has the addition of conducting business in the B3 Central Business District in the city of Halstead. That's the only addition. Everything else is the same, and as Ethan said, that leaves it in place. Anywhere else, we've just removed it from the one district downtown where we've had this, an incident for this to occur, so it makes it a little simpler for someone to be able to open a business downtown.
How far south does the Central Business District run?
Basically to the railroad track. I mean, it has the
From the
corner.
tracks to the bank, essentially?
Yeah, so the corner, the Presbyterian, the old Presbyterian church at 328 Main is actually not in the B3 business district, so that would be the one corner of
Okay,
the 100 through the 300 block of Main that would not be included, but
okay.
otherwise, both sides of Main Street,
For that distance.
basically all the way to the railroad tracks is covered.
Okay.
Okay, so looking for a motion on item number 2 here.
Mr. President, I move to approve ordinance number 1320.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those against? Motion passes. Okay, we're into new business here, and we have a public hearing for 21 Main Street, for 221 Main Street alcohol waiver. This is a public hearing, and no one in the audience to speak to us. So we'll move forward on that. Okay, so we need to look at adopting Resolution 2022-08.
And just kind of as an aside, because since we just passed 1320, this resolution is kind of a moot point, but
Okay.
as we know that the mayor, isn't currently here to sign where we can't get this, this basically just gives us a belt and suspenders approach to make sure that we can get Peppers up and running as soon as possible, because an ordinance doesn't go in effect until it's published and signed. So the resolution might be able to be signed and give us a little more time to not have to wait on it to be published.
Right.
But basically, this would be the last alcohol distance waiver
You should ever need on.
that you should need on the downtown business district, so.
So I trust each of us had a chance to read the ordinance that Mr. Jansen sent to us today?
Yep.
Okay. With that, I look for a motion on Resolution 2022.
All right, Mr. President, if there's no other questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-08, a resolution waiving distance requirements for sale of alcohol and cereal malt beverage within the city of Halstead by Pepper's Mexican Bar and Grill.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those against? Motion carries. And we have item number 2, where ordinance number 2022-AP13A. And we have added a second check to that. So,
Yes, you'll have, and basically you'll want to do two separate motions, or you can do them all in one. Now that we have full membership, voting membership, basically check number 119179 was to Halstead Floor off the Plaza, and then check number 119114 was to Councilmember Flavin, for umpiring at a Parks and Rec game. So those two, because for transparency, we pull those out as they're made to governing body members or their respective businesses, and would approve those separately from our normal bills and payroll.
I'll motion to approve check number 119179 to Halstead Floral at the Plaza for $122.
Second?
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.
And I'll also motion to approve check number 119114, $30 to Brody Flavin.
Second?
And those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're at number 3, resolution number 202209, notice of intent to exceed the revenue neutral rate. Ethan?
Thank you, Council President. The resolution 22-09, basically a formal resolution by the governing body, just indicating our intent to levy a property tax that exceeds the revenue neutral rate as provided to us by Harvey County. In there, we set the revenue neutral rate public hearing for September 12th, 2022. And the plan is to have that coincide with our budget public hearing, which would also be that same night. We chose that because that's what we did last year and didn't seem to have any undue effect or, cause a really long meeting with those two public hearings being held on the same night. We can change that if you all would desire to do so, but that September 12th basically maximizes the time we have to work and get feedback on the budget from you all, but keeps us compliant with state law as far as when we have to have that public hearing. And then this sets that initial ceiling of 77 mills. Again, we can adopt a budget that would be below that. But once you approve this resolution, 77 is the absolute most you could levy. So, without going through a onerous process. And we have to provide this resolution and notice as requested, which that was the next page in your packet as an attachment, that notice to the Harvey County Clerk's Office. And they use that 77 mills to help build that public notice that will go out to all property tax owners in the jurisdiction.
With that, if there is no questions or discussion, I would make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-09, a resolution regarding the governing body's intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate and setting public hearing on September 12th, 2022, as required by state law.
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And the last item we have on here is, under new business, is to set a new city council work session.
Thank you. We're looking to set a work session the week of July 18th, so next week sometime. I believe as far as from staff perspective, every evening would be available. The main topics planned for this is per what the mayor passed out, discussion on the existing golf cart ordinance, and then discussion and overview of the 2023 budget. And then as we've received our second half of ARPA funding, begin discussion on some potential ideas on how to spend those ARPA funds. So those would be the three items. We can gladly entertain more. If any of you have anything else you'd like on the work session, let me know. But it's basically, as we do with all work sessions, whatever works in schedules for you all.
I think the rec commission is having a meeting on the 18th at 7, so
Okay.
any other day would work for me.
Anybody else have any conflicts on the other 4 days?
So I cannot do the 22nd, that Friday.
So we have 3 days, 19th, 20th, and 21st. I'm good any one of those 3 days.
Yeah.
We could not, oh, okay, so the 20th would work for me.
All right, is 20th good for everybody?
20th, yeah.
Okay,
That's Wednesday.
yes, we'll set that for
You guys want
council work session for 20th.
to do that at 6 o'clock
Sure.
again?
So do we need a motion for that?
Yep.
Okay, so Mr. President, I make a motion for the city council to set a work session date on July 20th at 7 PM,
6.
6 PM.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign? Motion carries. Thank you. And we have no executive session. We downed into governing body comments. I'm going to start with Brody. Do you have anything to,
I have nothing tonight.
Denise?
I have nothing.
And Josh?
No, I have nothing.
Derek?
I just want to wish Chief Jim, a good retirement.
Sure,
It was a good get-together at the fire station, and
right.
sad to see him go.
All right. Well, I have nothing myself. So at this point, Mr. Ethan.
Thank you, George. So I'll start just with some highlights. I emailed you the more formal report to you all earlier today. We have hired 2 new city employees, one in the administration department and one in public works. They both actually started this past week after the July 4th holiday. So glad to get some positive movement on those openings we've had. We still do have openings, so people are still free to apply and we'll review those. But we're beginning training, and then Just also want to point out that Deputy Clerk Connell has taken over responsibility for utility billing, pretty much 100%. Deputy Clerk Smith is still available to her to help as needed, but she is by and large handling utility billing monthly now by herself. So we're very proud and happy that she has taken to that function. Overall, the police department did their annual Click It or Ticket campaign, with a switch this year focusing on seatbelt education. In the 37 hours they conducted in the campaign activities, they made 88 contacts, which saw a change this year to going to providing educational material instead of citations. And the department does receive reimbursement for the staff time on that campaign and did qualify for a $4,500 grant for future equipment. EMS received 49 calls in June, so a busier month than they had last couple. And Medic 22, which is an ambulance, was taken out of service with a radiator leak, but Andy informed me that they were going to get that and put it back into service today, so that should be back at the station by now. As far as Parks and Recreation, the pool officially opened in June. The weather cooperated. They only had to close one day due to weather. Just want to note, or special thanks to Grant. We did have an act of vandalism over the weekend, but Grant was able to get that pretty much taken care of and resolved today. So just appreciate his hard work. It was quite a bit, so kudos to him and his staff for getting that done. Seasonal hiring and staff have also started largely in Parks and Rec, so we thank all of them for helping us out in the summer. In Wedgwood, June saw the completion of the clubhouse painting, and it has a lot of tree and debris cleanup from the storms in May. Tournaments and rounds continue to increase now that the weather is not rainy all the time. So Sam's pretty excited there. We also did switch our internet and phone service to a single vendor, and that should hopefully save us some money going forward out there at Wedgwood. Public Works was very busy with most, but their kind of off-cycle work that they did on top of their normal things that are in there is, just want to note, they did assist the Kansas Learning Center for Health with the installation of a pet waste removal station that was put at the community garden. They did begin spraying for mosquitoes in town as the weather cooperates for doing that. And then they conducted spring leaf and limb pickup, which saw 30 loads of limbs and 200 bags of leaves taken to the burn site. And I know they did some additional kind of spot picking up following some of those storms. And other than that, excited to report we're closed on 204 Main. So that is now a privately owned property.
Hallelujah.
Had a meeting with the KMED Association Health Plan. We, of course, were a founding member of that association health plan, and just got an update on their ongoing membership recruitment, trying to get some more cities to increase the pool there, and then a discussion of next year's rates. And it's just already very nice to know from a budget standpoint what the maximum rate we might see is, as opposed to what we were seeing last year and the previous years where we were guessing anywhere from 5 to 25%. So we did finish or have the inspection of the Industrial Park Railroad Spur. Just got that inspection back today, actually, so I'll be going through that and looking at the recommended actions we need to take there. And then, as I know, it's the one thing you all are desperately waiting for. Finally, I've set up all of our back-end stuff with Apple, so by the work session, at the earliest, definitely by July 25th, you will all have your iPads, and they will be working. So, and then just, you know, we did celebrate Chief Van Scoik, 17 years of service in his formal retirement with the city. Very sad to see him go, but I just want to thank members of the governing body, the many staff members, and the public community members who helped us get that party set up and arranged and cleaned up. And then, of course, just a big thank you to Jim and happy retirement. And that is all I have for this evening.
Real quick on the KMIT, they were reaching out to other organizations, other cities. What response are they getting?
Pretty good. It's one of the benefits of us of going, you know, is because we were able to get on that ground floor, they are really making sure when people apply to join that they have good risk ratio before allowing them to join. So
Sure.
that was one of our advantages of trying to get in on that because they obviously, if you're a high risk, it's an association, so they're
Sure.
not gonna bring that into the pool.
Very good.
So it's been kind of mixed. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that want in, but have found out unfortunately maybe their risk profile is not as good.
Well, good.
So,
Good.
but they've
So
have
they're being
two or-
selective then, which is.
two or
good for the
three more
organization.
cities, so.
Good. Well, with that, that's our end of our agenda. And unless anybody's got anything else to add, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Good night.